Hello, it's Moira McDonald. Welcome back to my channel. I always feel that's I just don't like saying welcome back to my channel because it implies you've been away, and I'm really hoping you haven't been, that you're sitting binge watching what I have to offer. Anyway, welcome back to my channel, and that aside, thanks for taking time out of your day to have a wee look at what I've got to show you today. I have a small junk journal that I've made, and the plan when it started out was I'm going to make a really small plain junk journal, just rattle through it and leave it pretty plain, and we'll see what happens. And as is usual with myself, what started out as being fairly plain kind of grew somewhat. So we'll have a look at what we've got to offer. In terms of size, it is 4 1/4 by I think it's about 6 inches that way, and it's a hardcover. It is made from what's it called, grey board. I specifically ordered grey board, and I put it together to form a book that is covered with scrapbook and paper, and on the front I have this somewhat elaborate panel which is shabby chic in nature. I made this polymer clay little cameo. I assembled some of the paper flowers, some came as they were. There's some stamen here. This is die cuts from, I don't know if you'll see it very well because I don't have the blinds open because it might be a bit too bright. Die cut from glitter, white glitter paper. Added some pink. Oh, those are those hearts. I made those as well from polymer clay. And I think that's another wee one back there. Die cut some leaves from some hand coloured watercolour paper done by myself, and we've got some little kind of rosebud petal flowers here, and a little sprig of pearls and gold what's it called, wire. There's some lace behind it and some cheesecloth, and this is also a die cut glittered card. Some lace at the bottom and some lace underneath it here. Also there's a big bling stone at the top. I've put book corners on as well, front and back. That's the actual scrapbook and paper there. This relates to a tag that's inside. So I've gone for the, by the way, it is the old proverbial chunky monkey. I wasn't intending for that to happen. It just did, and I'll need to make sure when I do the next one I don't make it quite as chunky. Right, this is not a book that you are likely to take out. You'll be working in this one at home. If indeed you do use it for that, it might just be something that you want to use purely decoratively. It's got a hidden spine, incidentally, and inside some other scrapbook and paper with big pink roses. Some stamping here, and I die cut the word moments, so I'm going to call the book Moments. Right, now hold on, because I think I might need to adjust my angle of the camera here. Give me just a wee second, I'll bring it down. So I might need to move the book about a wee bit to let you see everything, but I want to make sure that you see, not that there's an awful lot in it, but I want you to see what there is. Right, so here I've got some lace. This sort of shabby chic lace will appear throughout the book. There's also an alternative lace which is very similar but slightly different colours. It's got paler leaves. Scrapbook and paper here. There is some tiny stamping that's just kind of randomly done throughout the book. And clusters. I've used this particular fabric for my clusters throughout, and just an assortment of papers. There's a heart-shaped doily here. There's 2 signatures, incidentally, I forgot to say. Tiny wee bit of stamping there. the stamping has been done in a pale pink shade. Is the stamping up? I think it's powder pink, so it's quite pale, but it's in keeping with the sort of shabby chic theme of the book, and it is relatively plain for myself because I did decide that I didn't want it to be, it's maybe just as well it's plain by the way because you can barely shut it as it is, but I didn't want it to grow completely out of proportion. Here are a couple of flowers, paper flowers that I stamped and coloured a wee bit, then added a pearl in the middle and a wee bit of glitter, and I die cut leaves from glitter card. There's another wee bit of stamping over here. Different lace here, again in the sort of shabby chic colours, pale pink and green. And over here we've got the first tuck. There's only there's 5 tucks in the book, 4 of which are triangular tucks made from scrapbooking paper that I've sewed fabric on, and some book page and a bit of lace, and I did actually sew them. So I was quite pleased with that. And here are a couple of the tags, and you should recognise the tags if you follow my video series, because these are ones that I made with a Make It With Moira theme. I coloured the seam binding using a Victorian Velvet, it's called Victorian Velvet ink, and just tied on some laces, some eyelash trim, just to give it a bit of colour. This hasn't had a hole, it's just a stamp tag, hasn't had a hole put in the top, but you can obviously do that if you want. This is graph paper, another one of the clusters here with an assortment of book pages. In terms of book pages, I used a pattern, my German book, a dictionary page from Webster's English Dictionary, and some music sheet, and that's pattern paper. A wee bit of stamping there. This is a book page from the 1930s Stanley Gibbons stamp catalogue. Quite interesting. I really like stamps, and I used to collect them, and as you know, I like to use them. Another wee bit of stamping there. I like to use them in my books. Indeed, now these aren't terribly old, these stamps, but we got quite a lot of stamps in a couple of parcels that my husband had ordered recently, so I thought I'm going to save them and add them to my tags. So, it must be fair a wee bit back, because it's only 18p for a stamp, and I think they're like 80p or something for a stamp now, so it's old enough. Middle of the first signature, and I think this was thread that Pirio gave me at some point, so thanks very much Pirio for that. Another cluster here, and there's the other lace, which is the paler colour. It's paler leaves. It's actually a different colour lace. I think this one's cream and the other one might be, it was described as yellow or something like that, but it's not, it's kind of off-white. Right, Stanley Gibbons page again. Another one of my flowers, where I stamped, I used a word stamp, not a word stamp, a kind of like text stamp, but they look quite impressive. More stamping in that page. I think they're Russian writing. I think they might have been a 7 Gypsies set I got. I don't know what they were. Sorry, I'm going out of focus here because I keep moving the book. Wait a minute to focus. There we go. There's a bit of a wee lady there. Hopefully you can see that okay. And another cluster over here with a couple of laces and a doily, as well as the other things I mentioned earlier. Another tuck here, and again it's the embossed tag I used on this one. Another one of my flowers. I actually started off when I was doing these, I was using the Tattered Rose, but Daisy, right on cue. I used Tattered Rose ink, but I didn't like it. I preferred the Victorian Velvet, so I moved over to Victorian Velvet partway through, and different shabby chic fabric on this pocket by the way, in different ways. And here's Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty falling to their death in the final Sherlock Holmes book. That's a bit of a spoiler if you've never read Sherlock Holmes, sorry. More lace, a couple of these stamps. Now these are even older obviously because they're 11 pence. And here I folded over the scrapbooking page, and we've got a tag in there that's made with that scrapbooking page, and I layered it up. Daisy, wheesht! Quietly now, Mummy's talking. I just did some random stamping because I thought that the plain paper looked quite dull. So that tucks in there, just for extra journaling space should you need it. And that's the end of the first signature. On to the second, and basically it's more of the same. Some more clusters, some more of the nice lace, another wee flower just put in the middle this time, another different bit of scrapbooking paper here, another cluster, and there's some scrapbooking paper on this which matches in, it's pink. Here another one of the tags I made fairly recently. I think this is the one where I did her in brown and I did her in pink to let you see the difference. So I included the pink one. I didn't see the point in including the brown one because I thought it didn't really go very well with the rest of this book. Some more lace here. Another cluster. And another one in the flowers. Doily. And the centre of that signature, another one of my flowers. Doily again, and some more stamping. It's Prima stamps for these ones, and this is, I think they're 7 gypsies. I think it's 7 gypsies anyway. More lace and some stamping. So it's fairly, for me, fairly plain. Some text stamping here, but still very pretty. Very, very pretty. And another one of my tags that I made in the series, and I've added a couple of laces, the Victorian velvet seam binding, and some eyelash trim. I deliberately left it so that that falls over the top because I thought it added to the look of the sort of shabby chic. This particular page, when I stuck this down, this page stuck to that. So when I prized it off, I lost a wee bit of paper here. So I thought, well, I'll cover that up. So I added some washi and then added some more washi down here just to give it a bit more interest. You can obviously write on that page. Another cluster there. And that's the wee envelope I made a while back as well. So I've included that with another wee tag that I had stamped. That's the one that it has the gilding flakes on the clock. Hopefully that's showing up in the video. So that will be in there for, again, extra journaling space, or you can use the envelope to store any wee bits and bobs that you have. So that's moments for you. I have, bear with me while I tie it, I have prepared the bare bones of my next one, which is going to be quite similar, I would think, and that's there. I've still obviously done some of the inside and need to stick that down, and I've got to obviously get my spine together. So we'll do that at some point in the next few days. But in the meantime, that is Moments, my little book. So it will be up for sale in my Etsy shop, which is BygonesEra, or BygonesEra, right, that's it. So I'll leave a link to the shop in the little description below, and if anybody's interested in picking up this wee beauty. Oh, incidentally, I forgot to say, I used a wee bit of pearlised paint to shabby chic up the pink flowers. Excuse me. Right, so if anybody's interested in purchasing this wee beauty, you can follow the link in the description below. And thanks very much in anticipation. So please leave any comments that you have. Let me know what you think, if you're interested in the shabby chic style, because I've gone very shabby chic recently. I've got kind of combination between mixed media and shabby chic, and I just don't know what to do with myself, because I'm wanting to make some wee shabby chic plaques, but at the same time I want to tackle a book, and that generally in Moira speak means I do nothing, because I can't decide what to do, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. So anyway, thanks for your time today, and please like and subscribe. Follow me, if you can hit the wee bell, it will let you know when I put up a video, because to be honest, I don't see me doing another, you know, kind of, I can't think of anything that I need to show in terms of, what's the word I'm looking for, a processed video as such. But if there's anything that anybody's interested in, that it's, you know, if it's something that I think I can do, let me know, and I'll try and do that for you in between making journals and making wee plaques. So anyway, thanks for your time today, and I shall see you all again in the not too distant future. Bye, bye everyone, bye.